Hello everybody, welcome back to another video for the day. Now we're going right back into r/talesofneckbeard, but beforehand, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the videos. Alright, let's get right into that. Our first story comes to us from username entitled Goober. Neckbeard trades so many nudes, he's banned from an entire app. Another short story about a neckbeard I call Pedobeard. Now, quick mention, I did see a video that included my last story from— oh hey, it's me! I'd love to thank him as I had a Christmas yesterday. We follow the Orthodox calendar, not the new one. When I woke up and watched the video, it was like a Christmas gift from an amazing YouTuber. So if you're reading this, TimTamTom, happy holidays and have an amazing 2020. Dude, I hope you have a great holiday also, okay? Have a great year. I legitimately wish the best for you. Okay, so this one is a bit of a doozy, but I'll keep it as PG as possible. Pedobeard came into school one day. This was 2 years ago. I told him about an app called Whisper, which is filled with very opinionated people who, to say the least. Pedobeard has gone onto the app and traded his underage— he was a few months from being 18— explicit pictures for other people's pictures, which he proceeded to save without asking permission for later. He bragged about how he talked to a guy and traded explicit pictures of a pregnant woman for photos of unclothed women, which is when we found his true colors. Pedobeard had received an explicit picture of a 5-year-old child. At first he used it as a subtle brag until we called him many names. After this, he changed the story. Oh no, I only saved it to show the police. I blocked and reported the guy. What the heck, dude? You don't need to save it at all. Give the coppers your phone and they'll find him from looking at his name. I don't want to do that. They'll see a saved explicit picture of other people too. Me, done with this BS, but I thought you saved the one of the kiddo to show the coppers. Pedobeard didn't know what to do. Everyone had turned against him, so he changed the story again. Wait, I didn't save it. I thought I did, but I didn't. I'll let you go through my phone, but I didn't want you to see other people's pictures. Now, surprisingly, we continued to be his friend, and before you judge, we kept the friendship as he was very manipulative and would tell people we lied, so there was no point. Pedobeard once manipulated all my friends except my partner into hating me until I forgave him for upsetting me. Well, I say once, but it happened a lot. Anyways, thanks for the read, and apologies for my scattered story as I don't sleep much. Have a great 2020, everyone! Look, I know that the phrase keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer is a thing, but it really does suck that your friends got duped into siding with him. That definitely is not good. I would definitely want to figure out why they sided with him over you. And as for the whole kid on the phone thing, where's Hanson? Our next story comes to us from username MoonhorseMusics. Okay, the remastered thing. Oh boy, it's been a while since I did one of these. So first off, let me address the elephant in the room. Hi elephant, har har. Some of you might remember me or remember my story. Yes, I did this post on the old Neckbeard sub before it was locked, and sadly, I don't have a real copy of it. After a lot of soul searching and encouragement from some wonderful fans, I decided to try to rewrite some stuff out of my old Neckbeard pal, K. A lot of this may be in different orders, so there may be things left out and new stuff added in. It has been over 2 years since Eva even thought about that first story. I'm super sorry about that. By the way, I really tried to get a copy of it, but no dice. So here we are. Let me try once again to tell you a story. A story of not the first or the last, but the most powerful neckbeard I've ever known. Let me once again introduce you to Kay. Take a walk with me, my friends and lovelies, through a portal and back in time. A time not so long ago, back when I was a young unicorn of the age of 19. It was at this time when I was still friends with many strange neckbeards. I made a lot of bad decisions, don't judge. One of these majestic gentlemen introduced me to his friend. See, the neckbeard who introduced us, I'll call him Z, didn't really care for K so much. Now, one would think that neckbeards would totally see each other, see similarities, and then bond like old war buddies. This is not the case. Take it from one who has walked amongst the beards, they are pettier and cattier than teenage girls arguing over their favorite bands. They will, and have, get into screaming arguments over their favorite MMO games or who is best waifu. The ones who usually instigate these arguments and escalate them are the worst. The volatile beard, if you will. The reason for that long-winded description of a subset of beardy is because that K is totally that guy. I didn't take much to set him off, honestly, but we'll get to that. Back to introductions. Z comes over one day and tells me about a guy he knows who I should totally meet. I'm skeptical, but I play along because at the time, Z was my friend, so yeah, I went along. Turns out that this beardo lives a few blocks away. We walk over there and Z rings the bell. The door opens and I'm met with K for the first time. Back in those days, K kept his hair really short and didn't have a beard, but the fedora was strong as frick, my children, strong as frick. He wore those really big glasses and he gave off his massive air of uncomfortable energy as soon as I saw him. Hey, you want to meet my friend Moonhorse Man? Heya. Oh, hey, why are you guys here? To hang out, man. Oh, okay. And with that, we are allowed to enter the house. Kay lived with his grandmother, who was a pretty nice lady from what I remember. The house was really clean and well kept, and despite being a neckbeard, Kay's room was really clean as well. I later learned that this was because his grandmother kept him on a super short leash. When he was still living with his mom, he had the typical neckbeard nest, and she had had enough of his acting out and freaking out, so he moved in with grandma, and she harbored no bullshit. His room did, however, have several shelves filled with rows and rows of video games and manga issues, like a shockingly large amount. The rest of the room was decorated just like how you would expect your grandmother's guest room to be, honestly. In these days, he was a fledgling beard, and if I knew what I know now, maybe I could have stopped his mutation to total mega beard, but I didn't, and all my other friends were super beardy, so yeah, I thought this was weird but harmless. Let's skip ahead a bit. Yes, a few months should be enough. It was around this time that Kay and I became more conversational and friendly. It was also around the time that I learned a few things about him. I learned that he was only allowed to play games for so many hours a day because if he wasn't regimented, he'd spend all day playing games non-stop. I learned this because he would show up at my house when he knew I was off of work to play games on my console until I all but forced him to leave. One notable moment of this was when I had off for 2 days and my plans were a little more than sleep in and relax. I had no plans to wake up before 10, honestly, but Kay had other plans. See, Kay had done this several times before, just showing up with no previous calls or announcements to hang out, aka play games while barely speaking to me for several hours at a time, and I had started pretending I was not home. I know, that's really shoddy, but the alternative was telling him I'm busy and, well, that never went well. Kay knocks on the door over and over. Hey, I didn't get your call. Yeah, sorry, can we hang out? I just got this game. Insert vaguely Japanese title here. I can't today, man. I gotta work in a bit. Oh, okay. It's just that I really want to play this game, and I never get to play games, and my grandma never lets me play games. I just got it, and it's new, but I never get to play it, and I really wanted to, and I guess I'll never finish it. Everyone says it's good, but I guess I'll never know. Intersperse this with dramatic sighing and heavily covered with mopey whiny tone. Oh, okay, just for a minute. And that minute turns into 4 to 6 freaking hours. I'd repeatedly tell him that I have things to do and he'd have to go and he'd yeah or just a minute and never look away from the screen or stop playing. Now, all of this is annoying and time consuming, but not exactly beardy, yes? Well, dear child, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Let me tell you about Kay and the ladies. At this time, Kay had found his one-itis hardcore. It was this girl he went to school with and he was totally, completely, and wildly crushing on her. She didn't even know who he was. He hardly ever spoke to her, but he obsessed about her almost constantly. He would make things in games totally dedicated to her, and he would talk about her all the time, and yeah, he wrote fanfics about her. Yes, erotic fanfiction. Kay was writing like Tina Belcher well before Bob's Burgers ever came out. You have no idea how much that fricked me up when I saw that episode. Flashbacks, horrible flashbacks. You want to know the story? I know you do. Sadly, I don't have an actual copy of it, but I can give you the Cliff Notes version. The premise was basically that there were zombies, I know, overrunning the school that they were in. He and some other guys in his class had to fight them off so they could escape into different rooms. His milady IRL had a boyfriend who Kay hated, so you can guess what happened to him. He totally got zombie nommed. Dead boy. Kay valiantly saved his milady, and they escaped to a bus that was outside. They escape the school and totally go to this super secret badass mall ninja safe house that he has with all these katanas and knives and stuff. I know. And of course, she is so impressed with his bravery, his skills, and his heroism, they totally frick. Aren't you so glad you know that story? Doesn't it enrich your life? Well, I have some more news, kids. This isn't the only creative writing that Kay has done. One does not write erotic fanfiction. No, there were fanfics, mountains of anime, and video game fanfics. So many that it's shocking. But Uncle Moonhorse, how do you know all of these things, you ask? Well, my sweet summer children, I'll tell you. He told me every single one. Yeah, in this time we spent together, he decided that I was the one he could spin his bardic poetry to. I was the captive audience who needed to know about this wooing of the anime milady with the big cartoon titties. These include, but are not limited to, Inuyasha, Full Metal Alchemist, Hyper Police, World of Warcraft, Skyrim, Fallout, and so many more. So we're going to jump ahead again. There are other stories at this time that involve K, but they also involve other beards, and those might be best saved for their own stories. After all, this is a look into who K is. His exploits and others will come later. K didn't manage a major mutation till around college. College life changed so much about him, and he grew out his hair and got very scraggly beard. Now, in his mind, this made him look like some kind of Renaissance knight with his flowing hair and manly beard. In actuality, he never really groomed himself, so his beard was scraggly and his hair curled very tightly a lot, so he just looked like a neckbeard with a super frizzy perm. We must also address the fashion sense. See, K's fashion choices don't change much from high school to college. He still wears the NB sneakers that have seen better days, the basic cut jeans, the shirt that either have no logo or just logos from local places, meaning that they're probably free, and one of those beige windbreakers with the piping on the seams that you expect to see your dad or grandfather wearing. Very early 2000s Old Navy stuff, if you catch my meaning. Pair all that with the fact that he had gone from being really skinny to putting on a good deal of weight from spending countless hours playing Warcraft and eating nothing but junk food, and you'll see the neckbeard we have today. Oh, but there's so much more. You see, in that time, he had stopped hanging out with me so much, mainly because of World of Warcraft, if I'm being honest. During this space in our interactions, K had learned a few things. He learned of the red pill. Yes, that's right, he was not only a neckbeard, he had also pushed into total incel territory. When we would hang out again, he would teach me all of the truths about how women are so evil and shallow and how Stacy's only want chads, and that's why we would always be virgins. You see, he assumed that since I'm not super skinny and ripped, that I must also be an incel. This would be incorrect, and when I informed him on this, he was angry and said I was making it up. I'm sure that somewhere there's a post about how I'm a blue-pilled cuck written by him, and I can't prove it, but I feel it. However, his incel big brain didn't stop him from creeping on women. Oh no, rather it enabled it more. See, he's much smarter than these pathetic foids, and he can't just manipulate them into begging for his greasy chicken. Shocker that he never worked. In fact, one time it failed so badly that he got slapped at a bookstore for being too creepy. Now back to the present. K is still acting like a creepy incel, and he's almost 30. I don't believe that this will ever stop. Really, I think he's happy in some strange way about his incredibly toxic mentality and behavior. He will post random nice guy / incel things on Facebook from time to time, which is the main reason I know. He still talks about us hanging out a little, but he never really follows up on that, so I don't think that will ever happen. That's about wraps it up for the basic overview of K the Neckbeard. I can try to tell more stories on him and retell the ones I lost if people are really interested in this. Also, if you'd like to hear more stories of neckbeards and whatnot that aren't mine, you can check out my channel. That's right, I am that Moonhorse LOL. Thank you all so much for reading, and I love you all. Bye. Alrighty, that's gonna have to be it for the video. If you would like what you had seen, be sure to like the video, comment down below what you liked about the video, and afterwards consider subscribing to the channel, becoming part of that amazing notification squad. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye bye.